Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Lady and gentlemen. Because
good afternoon, Mr. Nyika.
Yeah, I'm here to simply share a few things with us. Mr. Kugonza Arthur tried to take us through on how to set these exams in a Google Classroom. And I simply want to just enhance or build onto what he did or what he gave us so that we set a standard paper so that we have a uniform setup. And I'll start by sharing my screen. Mr. Host, please, you have disabled the sharing of screen by participants. Joel?
All participants. Done.
Okay. I'll straight away share my screen with all of us.
It is now 2:40.
2:40, Bruno. Okay. So that's my classroom, several subjects. And I'm going to request one of the members here who has few students so that we play around with their classroom and later on we shall clean it up. Anybody volunteering their class? I don't want to use a class with so many students where they are going to get a notification in their email.
You can use S5 technical drawing.
Senior 5 art, how many are we?
There are 7.
7. But do I have even senior 5 art? I think
they will turn on the transcript for me. I've sent a request. Okay?
I've already turned it on.
And senior 5, which other class has less than 5 students?
Less than 5?
Yes.
I don't know. You try. Okay, my S5 TD has about.
Let me do technical drawing. Teachers, here we are. We are in our classroom, senior 5 technical drawing. And what we intend to submit or to set up is a paper for us. So we shall move to classwork. We shall move to classwork, and what we intend to create a new quiz. Our exams are going to be in form of a quiz. When we go to quiz, this is what we ought to meet. 1, we shall need the title of the paper. For example, who can give us the title of the paper? I'll take teacher. Teacher training sample paper. Teacher training sample paper. Instructions. Mr. Luca.
Let us. We can use the instructions we intend to put in all the papers.
Okay. I wanted that. What's the first instruction, please? Just remind me.
Answer all questions in this paper.
Answer all questions in this paper.
Time allowed.
Time allowed. Time allowed is 1 hour. Ensure. I think IT.
Yes.
The IT team will have to come up with proper instructions that we ought to follow, all of us. Let me use dummy instructions. Bruno, mute your microphone, please. let's try to use dummy instructions for now for purposes of understanding. But before Sunday, we shall have come up with standard instructions. Because to ensure you enter your school email address. Your school, to the teachers, we have come up with email addresses that are at gayazahs.sc.ug for the students. And each of them is supposed to enter that email address, and they already know it. So where the exam asks for the email address, they'll basically be entering their email address at their account at gayazahs.sc.ug, not necessarily the account they have been using for Google Classroom. But assuming those are my instructions for the paper. The next thing I have to, besides on the sides here, I have assign. I'm not ready to assign this paper to anybody, but rather on the drop down, members, this is key. We schedule the paper. From the drop down, we schedule the paper. The scheduled time, date and time, is the actual date and time the exam is supposed to start. So if my exam, for example, for now, we're going to assume that the exam is today, September 3rd. What time? Let it be 3:15.
3:15.
So it's 3:15 p.m. 3:15 p.m. Must be scheduled for the future. What time is it? Why is it? Today is 3rd. Am I right? Okay. September 3rd, and then I schedule. You'll realize on top here, I have a teacher training sample paper scheduled for 3:15 p.m. I hope that's fine. So I'll then go click the quiz. I open to edit the quiz. I open to edit the quiz, but also going back to the actual paper on the sides here. I want to edit the settings. Please take note. Mr. Tyler, we do not necessarily, it will simply waste our data. There is a scheduled, the scheduled time is the actual time the exam is supposed to be ready, open for the students to start. But down here, we have the due date. Due date is the date and the time the exam will close out for anybody to be able to, for anybody not to be able to attend. After the due date and time, the exam will close, and when you try to attempt it, it will tell you this exam has already ended. This exam has already ended. So our due date, we are setting our due date to the same date today, and the time will be, our time is going to be 3:30. I hope we'll have finished setting up by then. So that is 3:30, meaning after 3:30 I cannot attempt that exam. Okay, I then move to the blank quiz for purposes of setting the exam now. Mr. Host, could you please disable all our videos? So I'm editing. Here I am. Anyone? Still, I'll take my quiz. Let me take the same title for follow-up, for easy follow-up. That is teacher training sample paper. That is the title for my quiz. And I can come and question one. Anybody with a question one, with the general knowledge? And you're ready to give us options. How come I'm not speaking to myself?
General knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, general knowledge. Who is the president of Uganda? Who is the president of Uganda? My option one is Robert Kyagulanyi Sentamu. I add another option.
Raila
Joel Bato. I add another option. Raila Odinga. And I had the last option, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
You said Joel Kaguta Museveni.
Oh, I can also say yes, Joel Kaguta Museveni, because our objectives should be very close to Joel Kaguta Bato, over Joel Kaguta Museveni by the, okay. So that's our first question. And the key answer, we must enable the key answer. For example, that is Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. And how many points it carries? Assuming we are each number carries 1 mark or 1 point. Each number carries 1 mark or 1 point. I'll say done, and I'll say this is a required question. It's a required question, meaning it must be considered within. It must be answered and it must be considered when determining calculations for the marks. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope we are fine. I hope we are moving together.
Mr. Nyika, about the timing of the exam, requesting for you to clarify. We scheduled it and then we set the due date.
Yes.
If someone logs in, maybe halfway, let's say the exam is 1 hour, and someone logs in 30 minutes into the exam.
Mr. Bato.
Yes, Mr. Nyika.
We are very much aware that when you come into the exam 10 minutes late, there is no examiner who is going to give you an extra 10 minutes because you came in late. So the same way when the due date when it's due date and time, it will close you out and submit what you have done so far. So the same way, even if I came into a paper 30 minutes late, I will use the remaining time to answer what I can, and then you'll collect my paper and take it and mark what I answered.
So that means that it will automatically submit in the event that
automatically, yes, in the event that it has closed the year out.
Okay, thank you very much. I just wanted to clarify on that one.
So whoever comes, for as long as you've come in before the due date, you will still find the exam, only that you'll have a limited time to do the exam. I hope that's very clear to us. I'll now move to tap and add another question here.
We can make a short answer.
A short answer question now. So we're going to say dash. Any subject?
Mr. Mangeni, which geography facts are there?
Dash is the height. of land above sea level. Dash is the height above of land above sea level. And because it's not an objective kind of question, I want it to be a short answer question. People planning to set short answer questions, please, I need your attention here. If you're planning to set short answer questions, you have to avail the following answers. Answer key. I'm providing the answer key now. Somebody help me. What's the height of land above sea level?
Altitude.
Altitude. If altitude is the height above sea level, I'll type altitude. That's my expected answer. But there is, in the event that a student, probably these answers are not case sensitive. There is another student who will type altitude with small letters all through. And another one will type, because they've forgotten that their computer is in capital letters, in caps lock, has caps lock, they'll type altitude. They are all correct answers. They are all correct answers, only that they are different formats.
And we don't want to penalize them because
I don't want to penalize somebody. This is an online exam where I can easily forget and leave my computer in caps lock and so on and so forth anyway. People, I hope that's clear. I hope that's very clear to us. So if you're setting one short answer questions, we should avail all these possibilities. Do I have any questions so far? Any questions, people? I'll move on, meaning since everybody is fine. And how many points? 1 mark. I'm saying all my questions carry 1 mark. So I'll say done. You realize that all my correct answers have been highlighted here. So if the student types any of them that matches, they'll be awarded a mark. The only mistake is when they make a wrong spelling. That means they'll have meant something totally different. So they'll get it wrong. So we shall also set this as a required question. As a required question. Allow me to go back to the first question. There is something I simply missed in the objective kind of questions. Objective kind of questions, please, after clicking required, this side 3 dots will give us options of shuffling, option order, so that we zero down or we put off people who wish to say that the first question was A, the second question was B. When you shuffle order of options, it means somebody else will receive Yoweri Kaguta as the first option, then Raila Odinga the second, then Joel Bato the third, and then Jagwan Sentamu the fourth. So after you enable required, when you're using multiple choice, please remember also to shuffle option order. Tick that for all options, for all questions that you're going to use as multiple choice. Clear for the short answer questions, we do not necessarily need any of it. We don't need to shuffle anything here. Okay. I'll add one more question just for purposes of demonstration, and we'll use a 3-question paper. A paper that has only 3 questions. Any question coming from us, people? Any suggestions for a question? General
Mr.
knowledge?
Mr. Nika, I have a question.
Yes, please.
I imagine if someone maybe wants to post an essay, is it possible for someone to post like a long essay of words and put dashes? Or it must be dash is this and we leave it at that? I'm just thinking about the creativity on how people can set exams.
Or the creativity. I hadn't ventured into so because now that those are several options or several feelings. We are looking at short answers.
So ideally the best thing should be at least it must be one answer per question.
Yes, per question. One answer per question.
Okay.
Any suggestions for a question?
Can we say
answer?
Can we say dash dash the teacher entered the class, then the students kept quiet?
Dash.
Then you put another dash.
Dash dash. Pardon?
Like, is it possible for me to put dash dash? The correct answer is supposed to be no sooner. Is that supposed? Okay, no sooner had, for example.
Okay.
No sooner had.
No sooner had.
Now that's what I want, but I would want dash. Then I put a special. Then I put another dash.
Now that's the question you asked before, and I said that we hadn't ventured right into that yet.
So, so can we, for example,
so
in that one,
probably I can say no sooner had.
Now, those two are supposed to be the correct answer.
This is what I can come up with. Students kept quiet. No sooner. I hope that's the right spelling for no sooner. Then I can say, if it's a feeling, then we go to short answer. If it's objective, then we give the different options. So if it's a feeling, probably short answer. Our answer key is than. Now for the English people, that would be the only possible answer. English and literature, that would be the only possible answer, because we cannot give an option of a capital T. We cannot give an option of all being capital in the middle of a sentence. So in this case, the only possible answer is than. No sooner had the teacher entered than the students kept quiet, because it's English or literature. So that's the only possible answer. Other than that, when somebody types or a capital letter in the middle, they're totally wrong. So I'll award this 1 point. I'll say done, and I'll say this question is a required question to be answered. Then
another question, if maybe I have a diagram that has parts of labeling.
Parts of labeling.
Can we is it that now someone is just going to label one, is going to make can only label one answer if maybe it's either an objective or a short answer?
Unfortunately, I didn't have such a picture, but then it's okay if I have different parts A, B, C, D, and I'm going to make them short answer, because I can say label the parts labeled, label the parts marked A, B, and C.
Maybe you could import for us an image.
And I have an image here, probably. Do I have any? Let me go to photos. Oh my God. Let me go to uploads, browse.
You have images.
Let me go to images, pictures.
Oh, if you have, sir.
Oh, my laptop. I'm using a laptop that I rarely use because I didn't think I was to present. And I moved away from home. Okay, E.
And there are those pictures of animals in pictures. Those normal default pictures.
Now let me go to computer, no problem. Computer, backup, 2021 notes, class videos. Now these are videos, no pictures. Let me open a document and copy.
You might have to first save the image in the document.
Let me first unshare this.
Okay.
Teacher Joel.
Yes, Mr. Bima, you're welcome.
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
When he is presenting, there is a way the words keep on typing and it interferes with our vision. Is it possible to remove the typing bit of it?
Disable the transcription, Joel, because some of the people are using phones.
Oh.
I can turn them off on his side. I was using them.
So I use my phone to turn it off?
No, in your phone, when you go to the Zoom, I think under more, you can turn off transcripts. But you know where those three dots? Three dots. Ellipses,
View full transcripts.
I tried to turn them off my side, but I failed.
Okay, you'll shut them down.
Bruno, what are you using them for?
I had a parallel meeting going on, so
I see.
You can shut them down.
Okay, so members, I don't know if we have some questions.
Okay, I'm simply going to use the normal picture. Browse for a normal picture from my desktop.
Excuse me, this is Crescent.
Yes, Crescent.
Can I share something I have that has a bit of labels?
A bit of?
Some biology drawing that has labels, and then you could work with that.
You want to send it to him via WhatsApp?
Okay, I could send it via WhatsApp.
Okay, do that very fast. Do that very fast.
Okay.
So we welcome some questions so far.
Okay.
In the meantime, you may proceed as I get it.
Okay. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to use the annotation for Zoom, assuming this is part A, and this is part B. I'm using the annotation for Zoom because the image did not have the labels itself. And because I want you to label these different parts, I'll say this is short answer. This is short answer. This is short answer. So I don't think it's going to work out labeling the different parts.
That's what
Unless there are any suggestions.
so
Mr. Nika,
Yes, please.
Can they use them as
Alternatively-
the alternatives?
alternatively, Mr.
Yeah.
Nika, what form I have used before in such a situation,
Mm,
of course, it might apply for some subjects and not others. You
mm.
click on that drop down, then you use the checkbox. Then you
Checkbox.
can put so many options there. Then you just ask that person maybe to choose the parts that maybe apply. Okay. Then you put so many options. Then they have to select which parts maybe are part of the diagram. That's what I've done before.
For purposes of clarity and understanding, I guess let's label. If we are to do the labeling, or let's name the image, or let's try to label at least one part, because at least I can say what is the part labeled. I can easily say what's the part labeled. And surely I'll be able to use short answer. I don't know where feedback is coming from. I'll say short answer, and somebody will be able to say that is a webcam. I don't know what you think about that, guys. Joel?
yes, of course, I brought it up. Of course, as we prepare for these exams, someone might be saying, how are we going to ask these questions? Is it possible to label?
Please allow me to reschedule this exam, because it looks like we are taking a lot more time doing what? Have we been hacked?
3:30.
3:30.
On 3rd September. I
3:30.
see you have made 6th September, if I've not.
3:30. It's failing to reschedule.
Mr. Chizita and Bruno, I have sent you the images. Maybe you could have a look at them.
Okay, let me check it out. Yeah, I have sent it to your WhatsApp.
I don't know why it's now blocking me from risk. Oh, due date is the same as whatever.
I have sent it.
I was getting a challenge because I was setting the schedule time was as the same as due date and time. So my suggestion is, can we stick to probably naming the images and probably one part on the image?
Naming possibly one part.
Possibly one part, yeah.
Okay, so members, we have done this so far. I don't know if there are some questions we might be having of maybe some of the challenges we are facing. This is the time for us to answer this. This is the...
Mr. Nika, can you first check out Chris's Crescent's image and we see what we can do or advise. Because for me in IT,
Crescent, where is he sent? Okay, it's here.
Hey, Crescent katono nkange mbadde sikidde.
Now, this is what Crescent has forwarded. The challenge will be you're naming, unless, yes, they are labeled that, but then you're only asking, name the part labeled Z. Or name the part labeled X.
Mr. Nika.
Yes, please.
I think theoretically, labeling the different parts is possible, where the students are given the options. Maybe part A is this, part B, part C, part D. They pick one out of those 4 options. And then that will apply to the different parts that have been labeled. So theoretically, I think it can work.
It can work, but then we are also looking at an option of limiting plagiarism,
Okay.
where we plan to shuffle these questions.
Yeah, now there you're right.
So
when you shuffle them, then that may not apply.
Yeah. So unless there is any other suggestion.
Mr. Nika, you didn't look at my suggestion that I gave.
What was that?
I would use checkboxes. I've used it before.
Yes.
And I would put so many options. Then someone has to tick off what they can see in the image.
Oh, what can you see in this image?
Yes. Then I put printer, monitor, projector, whatever it is. So they have to just tick off.
So that would simply mean the question changes to what can you see?
Or name the parts shown below to be more professional.
Name the parts, because that way, are you really going to, are you going to label them, Mr.
No. You just
you're giving the parts in form of what?
Mr.
Take control of my screen. Take control of my screen.
No, I am using a phone, unfortunately. Maybe you can say, maybe, what can we say? Maybe select the parts below, shown in the picture below, something like that. So maybe select the hardware devices shown in the picture below, something like that.
Yes.
It might apply for some people. Maybe it doesn't apply for others.
Okay, so I think what he's saying is that you give the student the answers, like for example, headphones. So a student is supposed to pick headphones and show you where the headphones are.
No.
I think this is what I was also driving to. I was saying, what can you see in this picture? What can you see in this?
And then you type headphones.
And then I say check boxes. Option 1, headphones. Option 2,
router,
speaker.
Mouse.
Option 3.
You can even just do those and say monitor, and maybe you just leave it at that.
Option 4, monitor. Now,
so
that would mean how many are really there? We have the headphones, we have the mouse. The rest are not there.
Yeah.
Isn't it? So that means now when we come to points, when we come to our points for this question, they will vary. They will differ from the rest. Answer key, we have headphones and mouse. Meaning we have this carries 2 marks because there are 2 correct answers.
Yeah, so I don't know how biology can borrow that kind of leaf.
I was thinking,
yes,
maybe if there was a question such as which one of the following are mammals, then you have very many animals, but maybe you have two mammals and they have to mention which mammals they are seeing in the picture. I don't know if it makes sense. Maybe you have 5
Not
options.
clearly understood.
Assuming I had insects, I had maybe snakes, I had a dog, I had also maybe a lion. Okay. Of course, the dog and the lion are the mammals here. The rest aren't. Then I say identify the mammals in the picture. Then they write like a short answer from what they say.
Short answer. When you have 2 options.
Yeah, say dash and dash are mammals. Then the rest are irrelevant to the answer.
That's one thing we at the beginning we said we hadn't ventured into that. Mr. Bato raised that question.
I think this checkboxes thing could still work for that particular kind of question.
We
So
ask
anyway,
which of the following, which of the above images, images, whatever, have the following characteristics. Then you list the characteristics of one type of group of organisms. And then, so it's up to them to know that those characteristics belong to, say, mammals or belong to insects. And then they tick off which ones carry those. I think we have very many options just for us to take time and think.
Take time and venture into them. Because personally, I might not have ventured in some of them, and yet somebody else has done so. Okay, for now, I propose we end with this question. At least we have also included the check boxes Mr. Magala has brought in. We have a short answer. We have objective type. Is that fine with us?
Unfortunately, I missed out that short answer.
This is being recorded.
I'm sorry, I came a bit late. I joined slightly late. Short answer and then objectives. I don't know whether we're expecting the girls to write a type in the short answer where
Short
probably
answer
will
in
be.
particular. For short answer in particular, let me try to edit this.
Okay.
Sorry, let me get to the other one. Dash is the height above sea level. It's the height of land above sea level. We went and after setting that, we determined the answer key. We said it's a short answer on the sides here, short answer, and then we determined the answer key. We gave 3 different options that will be correct. We said the correct answer is altitude, but depending on the mode of the computer or the button somebody is using, they are bound to type in any of these. Altitude starting with a capital L, capital A, altitude all through capital, or altitude all through small letters, but they are all right. This is geography, not English. So they would all be ideally right. So we give all those possible answers. We give all those possible answers. And if any of them enters, if any of them enters that answer, or any of the 3, they will be marked right. We gave that 1 mark and moved on. And we said it's a required question. When we went to the English question, we said no sooner had the teacher entered, dash the students kept quiet.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
Let's go back to the altitude thing. So
yes.
what are we examining here? Because the part of the English rather spelling, it goes to the English, but whether they begin with the small letter or capital letter, that will still be the same. So
yes.
What are we examining?
We are examining on whether you understood the principle or you understood what you were being taught. We are not necessarily examining whether you understand, you know that the sentence should start with a small letter or a capital letter. So all we need is the answer altitude. Mr. Bima, have I answered your question?
Okay, the thing is, the question, to answer that one,
Yeah. Yes.
Joel Barton.
capitalization, like putting a capital letter before, those are just really principles of writing, okay? But also, if someone maybe wrote attitude, that would be misspelling, but attitude is not the same.
Has a
as
totally
altitude.
different meaning. Yes.
If someone maybe put attitude and didn't put letter E.
So are we, let me understand. Are we saying it is them to type type there for the
Yes.
answer?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Then it's
Yes.
okay.
That is why it is short answer.
It's fine.
They type.
Well, I'm afraid the laptop I'm using has 23%, and I
Okay,
didn't carry the
so
adapter.
you can
I'm
finish
wondering
this.
whether short
Let me finish this, then you'll take over.
Okay.
Mm.
I will try to do the exam.
answer is strictly one word.
Yes, one word.
Yes, it's strictly one word.
So because of my battery running very fast, I'm going to the settings. The question the paper is 4 questions. The paper is 4 questions. I'll go to settings. I want to collect student mails. I want to limit the response to 1 so that they attempt once the paper. Respondents can edit after submission? No. See summary charts? No. Then I'll move to presentation. Show progress bar. Yes, you can show them the progress bar of how far they've gone with the paper. Probably they've answered 3 out of 4 questions. Shuffle question order. Remember, people, we shuffle the order of options for the multiple choice. And now here we are also shuffling the order of questions. What are we trying to curb? We are trying to curb plagiarism. We're trying to ensure that there is no plagiarism. Somebody says number 1 is 5, is B, number 2 is 6, is C, number 5 is A, and so on and so forth. And let's not tick disable autosave for respondents, because someone will lose network after they've answered 2 questions, and then they will be back. So do not tick this button here, so that they can keep continuing even when they get interruptions in the connections. And then the quizzes. Quiz. Mark this a quiz, yes. Immediately after submission, release grade. No, we are going to release the grades later. We shall later release the grades to their emails, which they are going to enter in their exam paper. And then missed questions, correct answers. Let's not show correct answers. Let's not show correct answers. Respondents shouldn't be able to see correct answers. And I'll save. When I save, after I have saved, let me just have a preview. Let's just have a preview of what it ought to be. This is a simple preview. 1, we need email. The email is required, but now because I'm already logged in, it's showing my email, dix23@gmail.com. But the student will be required to enter their school email address here.
The ones we have shared with them today.
The one, they already know them, they have been shared today. But I wanted us to have this preview before we add the sections. Mr. Kugonza Arthur tried to show us how to add the sections. So I'll come back to my question paper. I'll tap the first section and say down here, add a section. Section 1 is going to strictly include personal information. I'll say in brackets, personal info. I don't know why I'm trying to rush so that my battery does not cut me out. And then the test section. So then in the part, this is where the upper section is where I need the personal info. So I can add a section to say, enter your name. Enter your name is should be short answer. Should be short answer. And for that, I'm not availing any answer. Whatever they provide is what I will need. It's required. Answer key, we don't need any. There is no need for marking the name. So I'll simply say done. I'll add another section to please choose your class or stream. I'll then add the options. S1, okay. S1B, S1L, and S1T. Still, I don't mind what they choose. Though that means I'm not giving any possible answers. Because I simply need them to submit, and I'll say this is required multiple choice. It's multiple choice. We are not awarding marks to the upper section because it's just like you've given a student a paper, a physical paper, and they are writing on the first page, they're including their name, their index number, and their class. That section is not to be marked. So still allow me at this time to preview what we have done so far. You'll realize that there is a change in the appearance. There is a change in the appearance. Now there is another section. We cannot see the actual questions that carry the marks. We cannot see the actual questions that carry the marks. So I'll need to enter. Joel Bato.
Yes.
You will try to do this exam in case I go off.
Okay.
Because it's in TDA and I know it has already launched because I set it the scheduled date at 3:30.
Okay, I need to first enroll to the TD class, but let me do that. Let me enroll myself as you.
Okay, then when I enter the name, I'll choose the class. And after choosing, sorry, I'm trying to do it fast. After choosing my stream or class and I've entered, then I'll say next so that I can be able to move to the question. But there are key fields that must be filled before you move to the question paper. You cannot start the paper without submitting your index number. For this purpose, your name is very key. So for all those that are marked with an asterisk, they must be answered before you move to the next section. People, unless we have any questions so far. Unless we have any questions so far. Mr. Bato, are there any hands?
Is it possible to create this first, second, and third pages before you begin uploading your questions?
Before you begin? Actually,
before you
people,
put the questions in.
This is very flexible. This is like the normal way you have always set your paper. You can set the paper up to the last moment when they are doing the paper. Because personally, I started setting my sub-ICT paper on Monday, and I keep adding questions, but it's already there. Though they cannot see it, I've already set the schedule time, which is Tuesday, 11:30, when they're expected to do it. So the exam will be there, but they will not, it will not be visible to them until that time it's supposed to be done. It's like setting the exam and dropping it at DOS's office, and the girls cannot access it until, or they cannot see it until the time it's supposed to be done.
I get you there. What I'm trying to ask is, you remember you came to this editing and so on of this first page, the second page later on. What if one says, let me begin with this, and then I proceed normally?
Mr. Abima,
yes, sir.
There is a lot of flexibility. I can start setting, I can start with the question and give the instructions later.
Okay.
So I can, it's so flexible that you can start with whichever you want, whether the instructions, whether the first section, and so on and so forth. Now, for me, I wanted to ask to preview both sections so that we see, to preview before and after, so that we could visualize the difference.
It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, any other question?
Yes, sir. Eddie.
Yes, please.
This is Mike.
Yes, Mike.
Oh, will you upload these ones to go on the platform? I need the recordings. Then we fall back.
Mr. Bato will help us do that.
Got it. Thank you. Because I've just logged in. Yes, sir.
I was replying to your WhatsApp chat. Now,
so let me get there. So
it's okay. I can speak to you from here. Send me your Gmail.
My Gmail.
I send you an invitation as a teacher.
Actually,
so
I told
the Google.
Mike, I think I also told you that you had joined as a student, not as a teacher. So you needed an invitation to join as a teacher.
Kale, let me just switch on the laptop. I've been using the phone.
Just say out your email.
Me because I'm here.
Just say out your email.
My email is SMS Mike 2000.
1 second. Okay.
Okay,
2000 at Gmail.
Yes, Mr. Nyika. Can I attempt the exam?
Accept the exam and you share with us.
On the WhatsApp.
My batch is out.
Mike, can you just read it to me again?
Okay.
MSM Mike 2000 at gmail.com.
So now for me as a student.
Okay, Mr. Bato.
Yes,
I'll rejoin using a phone later on.
That's okay.
Otherwise, my battery is gone.
That's okay. I have already taken over. So for me as a student, and also teachers, you will know that an exam has been uploaded from here. When you see this upcoming thing, it's showing you that you have a pending exam. So even a student can know that they have this exam. So when I click on the link, there is a teacher training sample paper. I click on the Google Forms. This is what the student will do. And then I start. Enter your name. Joel Bato. Please choose your stream. S1B. I think there's also supposed to be the provision for email, if I'm not mistaken. IT team, is that true?
Sure.
Yeah. So
the email is supposed to be there.
Yes. So I think that the three things we need on this page are the name, email, plus the stream. So when I finish this, I click on next. Who is the president of Uganda? Let me choose Joel Kaguta Bato. This, I type on the answer and I say altitude. What can you see on this picture? I can see headphones. According to me, I can see a speaker. I can also see a mouse. Then no sooner, the next question, no sooner had the teacher entered, my answer is done. No. Okay, done. Then when I'm done, I click submit. And that's it. So they say response submitted and the assignment is marked as done. When I open the assignment, I will be redirected back to this page where I started from. At this point, I cannot unsubmit. And if I try to click on the form again, they will tell me you can fill out this form only once. Try contacting the owner of the form if you think this is a mistake. And that's it. That is the end of my examination. And I know whether I've passed or I've failed. Later.
Joel.
Yes.
Thank you for your demonstration. I was wondering if in any case I checked some boxes earlier and I want to uncheck them in the settings. Is there a redemption or it's already done and can't be undone? For example, the box that says that they can see their results right after doing the paper.
Yes, you can edit if you're setting. Yes.
Because the case in point for myself, I already did the setting and submitted, and it was rescheduled for the time that should be done.
Yes, yes, you can still edit it. You can still edit those settings.
Oh,
just like the way you saw Mr. Nika rescheduling the time for that, you can also make those adjustments for these other settings. Those are not cast in stone, especially on the side of preparing the test.
Okay.
Do we have any other question?
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Bimo.
I watched the video from Arthur, teacher Arthur, the one where he presented. And there's somewhere where you're saying before you upload the questions, you need to indicate the right alternative by bolding it. If I got it right. When you upload it, will it not be shown as bold?
Yes,
bold
but all those are just techniques really of making sure that you get the right answer. When it's important though to just copy and paste things neutrally and then you manually pick what the answer is. Maybe why he was doing that was for purposes of not mistaking what the answer is and what you might mistakenly push the wrong answer. So that's where the bolding works. Though I don't even think that the bolding, I don't know whether that bolding part is even seen when you paste it into the Google form.
Yeah, that is where my worry was, because if it is seen, then it means you're already given away the answers to the students.
True. True, I don't think it's seen.
But the teacher Christian has already done this. Maybe he can share with us his experience. Teacher Christian.
Yeah. Well, what I did is that I first pasted the questions with their options, and then I came back later and answered it. It might be a tedious way to do, but I just wanted to do one thing at a time. And then after that, I shuffled the questions and shuffled the objectives. The only
Yes.
challenge I think I foresee is that I had already put A, B, C, and D. So in some cases where they are shuffled, the A, B, C, and D may not shuffle. So I need to go back and edit out those things and just let the options be without the A, B, C, and D.
True.
Teacher Crescent.
Yes.
Yeah, Christian, that's very true. Even when you're setting questions, do not put numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do not put alphabets to the options as well, because when you shuffle them, you'll be confusing. You'll be confusing yourself and the learners.
The learner sees A down, B up.
So yeah, you have C, D, B, then B, C, A, and so on and so forth. Because you're going to shuffle order of questions and order of options as well.
As if S6 what? S6 points.
So members, I don't know if there are any other questions here. I hope this has been a helpful presentation. We would like to end it at this point and not make it a very lengthy recording, because that will also become heavy for people to watch.
And teachers, yes. Please, we are readily available. Just reach out on any of us personally for help. We are readily available for you.
We
readily available to help.
And by the way, the easier thing is, if maybe you have an S5 paper, can you get in touch with the